Have you ever considered moving to Kazakhstan? If I lived in Alaska, I might. Welcome to part 14 of the United States. Might as well be 53rd world countries stacked up in a trench coat. I had to double check that Kazakhstan was even a developing nation. You guys match up in the fact that you're huge oil producers. Beyond that, this is gonna be a little hard to hear. Alaska has a GDP of about 55 billion. Kazakhstan has a GDP of 290 billion. You're both oil producers, but somehow that developing nation that is dwarfing Alaska's GDP is also way more affordable to live in. To give an easy cost of living example, you need around $2,000 a month to do what you can do in Anchorage, Alaska for $7,000 a month. It gets a lot more expensive to live in Alaska if you live in a rural area. They're flying in milk and eggs. And I know Alaska is both remote in location to the main US, as well as just the geography, right? There's remote areas that people live in that services and goods need to be able to get to. I get that that affects this. But to be in a state that gets federal resources from one of the most developed nations in the world, some reason the health outcomes aren't matching up either. In Alaska, about 30 people unalive themselves per 100,000. In Kazakhstan, they have close to half that at about 17. Kazakhstan is reported to have 400 doctors per 100,000 people. In Alaska, you have access to a quarter of that at 100 per 100,000. Please keep in mind, Kazakhstan is still considered to be a developing country. The goal in saying this is not to convince you to move to Kazakhstan. But if you're watching this from Alaska, it might be a good time to ask yourself why. When I was doing this research, I saw that a lot of these statistics heavily affected the native community in comparison. It's almost like when a state tries to make life hell for one community, it makes it hell for everybody there. Put your state in the comments if you want me to do yours next. We're gonna go through all 50 states with this series. Shoot me a follow if you wanna see when I do yours.